Christian Lacroix is a French designer who was born on May 16, 1951 in Arles, a city in southern France. In his childhood, he was surrounded by the beaches of Camargue, the Gallo-Roman ruins, the opera festivals, the traditions, and the presence of the gypsies. At a young age, he began sketching historical costumes and fashion designs, which definitely led to his genius designs later in his life. He studied art history at the University of Montpellier. Forgive me, guys, if I do mess up some of the wording. It can be a bit hard to pronounce. But Lacroix pursued a program in museum studies at the École du Louvre. His aspiration during this time was to become a museum curator. In 1975, Lacroix then opened his own haute couture. 1989 was definitely a huge year for Lacroix. In 1989, Lacroix did big things. Lacroix launched jewelry, handbags, shoes, glasses, scarves, and ties. And this same year, he opened boutiques within Paris, Toulouse, London, Geneva, and Japan. Since Lacroix had such a strong passion for historical costumes, art, and clothing, he then began to get a lot of recognition for his fantasy creations. Christian Lacroix uses different ways of creating garments, but always following the same purpose and same inspirations. His creations are colorful and daring, using different combinations of patterns, colors, and embroideries, which create Lacroix's signature. So for this next part of my presentation, I'll be showing you which art period was a big influence on Lacroix's fashion designs, which was the Baroque period. The Baroque art period is a highly ornate and often extravagant style of architecture, art, and music that flourished in Europe from the early 17th century. The Baroque art period is inspired and encouraged by the Catholic Church. The Baroque style used contrast movement and tried to achieve a sense of awe. The Baroque style started out in Rome and then spread around Europe to France, Spain, Portugal, and Germany. There in the presentation, I did show you a few images of the Baroque period, but the painters would use light colors for the main attraction in the pictures and put warm, dark colors around it. Next in my presentation, I will show you 3 specific garments that Lacroix has designed that was influenced by the Baroque art period. These pieces are really cool. Christian Lacroix designed pieces that combined unusual materials and colors, adorning looks with luxurious Baroque touches. He brought back touches of folklore, history, and theater, infusing them with elegance and sophistication. The style of dresses worn of that time was the bouffant dress, and Christian Lacroix created a lot of dresses with that shape. As shown in my presentation, the left side designs are Lacroix's designs, and the pieces on the right are the Baroque dresses from the art period. So that being said, in the first picture right here, you can totally see a lot of similarities between Lacroix's dress and the Baroque dress. Like I said, he's very big on the bouffant dress, and you can totally pick that out here. In the Baroque dress, you can see flower embroidery. In Lacroix's dress, he doesn't really use embroidery in this one, but it's definitely floral print. They do have similar colors also, but Lacroix kind of made his design a little bit more alive with a nice blush pink, a darker pink, and with the same floral coloring as the Baroque dress. So that being said, in the first picture right here, you can totally see a lot of similarities between Lacroix's dress and the Baroque dress. Like I said, he's very big on the bouffant dress, and you can totally pick that out here. In the Baroque dress, you can see flower embroidery. In Lacroix's dress, he doesn't really use embroidery in this one, but it's definitely floral print. They do have similar colors also, but Lacroix kind of made his design a little bit more alive with a nice blush pink, a darker pink, and with the same floral coloring as the Baroque dress. I feel like Lacroix wanted his design to be like more of a today's look, a little bit more sexier. So I feel like he gave his design like a little bustier top to show some cleavage, and he made it sleeveless. So for this next dress, there's not really as many similarities as the one that I showed you before. It's definitely Baroque inspired because of the shape of the dress and the up top on the garment in Lacroix's design. is definitely Baroque inspired with all the gold and different materials. So here's the last garment that I'm going to show you. I feel like there's more similarities in this one rather than the second one, the one before I just showed you guys. But for this one, you see at the bottom of the dress and the Baroque picture on the right, there is some layering, and Lacroix definitely puts some layering on this one too. The color is somewhat there, but the Baroque dress is a little bit lighter. It kind of looks like a lilac, and the garment on the left is a little bit darker. Also, the same similarity that they have, it's a shoulderless dress. The next part of my presentation, you'll see Christian Lacroix's runway. This is a representation of how he would showcase his designs. For this part of my presentation, I'm going to show you guys some visual examples of Christian Lacroix's designs. In May 2004, Madonna performs on stage during her Reinvention World Tour. Her outfit is completely designed by Lacroix. This is actually pretty big. I mean, well, speaking for myself, I wasn't really around for like this super big Madonna era, but my parents were super obsessed with her and they did put me onto her music when I was growing up. But yeah, Madonna was definitely a legend and she still is an icon till this day. So that was just like a really, really good look for Lacroix. The picture on the right, you see Christian Lacroix takes the catwalk with Lily Cole at the end of his haute couture show for autumn-winter 2007/2008. Lily Cole is a famous English model and actress, so this definitely turned a lot of heads. In May 2009, models present creations from Christian Lacroix Spring-Summer 2009 haute couture collection at the Audi Fashion Festival in Singapore. Please forgive me if I don't pronounce her name right, but here in this next picture, you see Helen Mirren wearing a Christian Lacroix at the 2007 Oscars. She was a very famous actress. And here, lastly, in this picture, you see the designer Christian Lacroix at work in 1988, before he really just pops off. Here's another little cool video that I stumbled across. This is backstage at Christian Lacroix's 2017 lifestyle collection in Paris. So this is kind of like a better look of what Christian Lacroix is really about.
Yeah, I think if we don't get to see there's no second at all.
And it's a wrap. Thanks so much for hearing me out on my presentation, guys. I hope I got to teach you a lot about the Baroque era and a lot about Christian Lacroix.